Trumpets belong.
I'm fine, dude.
We are plugged in. We got power. We got memory.
Video mode.
We are on for drive time. I don't know what number it is, dude. And we're obviously missing Deeks. Feels a bit sad missing Deeks, doesn't it? Do you think we can do it without him?
Think he's gonna be alright on his own? Don't know.
I actually don't know what Deeks is doing right now.
I don't know what Dinks does actually.
Yeah.
I never see him apart from Rampage, and every time I call him, he's always so busy.
Well, he's either on a podium. He's either on a podium or he's at Rampage.
Or
That's how he lives his life,
He's
dude.
organising the next race. Sabotage.
Exactly. Welcome to Drive Time, the reflection episode, where you've actually caught Brendan and I deep in this sort of Rampage hangover.
And it's been real.
And it has been real, hasn't it? It has been real, absolutely. We're currently on our way to Dovey Bike Park though, so that should lift the spirits. Very excited.
Our mate's 40th birthday.
Exactly. I can't believe we've got a mate who's having a 40th birthday.
We have a mate that's 40.
Yeah, it's mental. That's a full-on adult.
Fuck old.
It's happened, dude. It's happened. Aging has happened. I reckon Rampage ages, you know.
Yeah, for about 5 years.
I look at pictures, I'm like, whoa. You know when Rue would send through pictures every night, I'd just look at them like, oh my goodness, that's what I look like now.
Like the 12 hours of manual labour in the 40-degree heat and bloody doesn't help that. But
No, you are right.
and also we didn't put sun cream on one day.
No, that is true.
Actually, I saw you and Dix lathering on one afternoon.
I've got a theory about
But
it.
yeah,
So you get up in the morning, you start digging, and you're sweating all the way through before the sun hits, because we'd always try and dig stuff on the shady side first thing in the morning, right?
clever.
And then the dust would stick to the sweat, and it would offer a natural sunblock.
And then you look so tan, and then you go back for a shower, and you're like, oh, but you're not burnt. I mean,
Poor shower had a big job on.
None of us got burnt once.
Didn't really, eh?
No.
But then subsequently we're also not that tanned.
No, it's a shame.
I don't think I am anyway. I don't feel like I am.
No.
Welcome along. You're probably not listening for skincare news, but I'm glad that we were going to do this episode as we were driving out of the Rampage venue, but I think we're all a bit gloomy, weren't we? We're all a bit gloomy.
Oh my god, were we? And why the come down from this one feels so bad. It's not obviously the obvious, like the result that ended up happening, but more because how good a time we had before.
Yeah.
And honestly, like the build up, every digging day, every task that we had planned seemingly got done.
Yeah.
For me, but with my riding, I felt like I rode better than I ever have, and every day I had a tick list, and it got ticked off, didn't it?
Absolutely.
And every day I was just like, oh my god, I can't believe it. And some of them were quite unreasonable tick lists, like for example, trying to flip knack for the first time to dirt, which I'd only tried on an airbag at Sea Dog's house 2 weeks before. So in my tick list, I was like, I want to do that, I want to do that, I want to do that. And then I'd love to get a Rue banger picture on the last job of doing a big flip knack. And then I ticked it off and I was like, shit.
Wow, it's actually happening.
That's so good. Yeah, obviously I didn't manage to do it in my final, which I don't actually care about, but
I'm pretty aware that you're very good at biking.
my legs are too jelly.
What I would say I'd give you big props for is being good at biking is one thing. We know lots of people who are good at biking.
Yeah, lots.
But being able to just like be good at biking when
You have to be.
that is that is really hard. That is really hard, and for you to just do it on your own as well, because you're like the least on your own person ever.
Trying to do anything on my own. Well, I wasn't on my own, but I was riding by myself. Yeah.
Yeah, but that's really unusual, isn't it? Like you don't
Yeah, but I was
normally do
thinking,
dangerous things with no
Every
one.
other athlete, bar no one, actually bar Bienve, who because unfortunately Sea-Dog crashed, so he had to test the feature by himself. But every single other athlete had someone else to test the feature with.
Yeah, just talk to
ride
him
a
about,
feature with.
just talk to, yeah.
How much speed you going? Let's flick a coin, see who has to go first. Let's science it out together. Let's do some run-ins together. Let's have 6 people judging speed instead of 3 people judging speed.
They're all
every single thing we had to do by ourselves.
They're all like micro motivators.
Yeah.
That's what I think I'm always impressed with, is that you can actually make yourself motivated to do stuff. Because like some of the lists was just horrific in testing. Yeah, the other thing is, you always think you've got loads of time, and then it always ends up coming down to one day where you're like, oh, we've actually got loads to do, and you've got loads of workload to do in terms of testing on your own. So it's like you had to do. Like, I feel like it always catches you up.
And honestly, this is what it is also crazy. Imagine like how sparkly their pajamas I put on are, and like look at me, like all sponsors everywhere, white, brand new bike, like painted some Porsche that I liked, this all this jazzy stuff, and then you put it there and you're like, now you got to do your thing, and you got to do better than you've ever done before.
Yeah.
On these jumps that you and your mates just built in the heat, and this has got to be the time to shine, mate. There you go. And I was like, what? But at the time, I got in such a zone, and we were so dialed with all the build and the build up, and honestly, we kept ourselves so busy with keeping you guys up to date with videos and stuff, which was super hard work but fun and rewarding and cool.
I think it's I actually think it's over the years it's become like a really good, not coping mechanism, because that sounds like fucking
it is,
but it stops you from, you don't get swept up with the hype of it all. I mean, you do, you end up being swept up in your own hype, but like you don't have time to think almost, which is really fucking helpful at Rampage.
No,
I think.
Big
really
time.
fucking helpful.
Big time, yeah. And we had a good little group of people around us, like Ben, Francis, Rue, Grant, you and Deeks. It's just like our little pack.
Yeah.
And then like, see ya. There you go. That was good. Until the end, it was one of the best Rampage for me. We were so dialed. We had Rampage sponsors.
Yeah,
we had bike dial, my kit. I was stoked on my kit.
Yeah.
I was a bit self-conscious of my full gold helmet. That was a bit of a mistake on my behalf. I was saying to the paint, I want gold helmet. And I was thinking, shit, like, any time you have a gold helmet is if like Louis wins world champs or Pastrana's won a series. So as soon as I got that, I was like, shit, this is so bad. I've got a gold helmet. But now I don't care. I loved it. It's going to go in the cabin. Actually, no, it's not, because I'm riding a W today. But so I couldn't follow my other one. But yeah, so you have to. There's so many things to get over, and I think us having a full line to ourselves, testing every feature by ourselves, is nuts.
Yeah. It's a
Building
big
every
achievement.
single feature by ourselves. We didn't share one thing, dude.
Mate, I actually, finals day.
Actually, big up to T-Mac in that one landing that we ended up riding on.
Yeah.
But the thing is, that landing we'd have left freaking natty anyway.
Yeah.
And he needed it at that, so it's yeah.
How should we start this? Should we go through finals day, or should we? I'd like to do, because everyone by now has talked about everything there is to talk about from Rampage. So it'd be good to talk about our perspective of Rampage.
Yeah.
Because I've got a few things that I like, that are my takeaways. Probably.
I think the biggest one is like we got the wrong end of the stick.
Well, I think so. Yeah, I think so. You can't really. It's so subjective. You almost. But then I sort of feel like we've always got the wrong end of the stick. Then
We always have.
Yeah, there you go. Right, standout features on the hill. Let's go through those. What were your standout features? I know they'll match my standout features on the hill.
Sea-Dog gap at the bottom, step down.
Right.
And the thing is, like, I know Sea-Dog is calculated, he's gnarly, he knows how to build.
Yeah.
Still, that feature for me was big, scary.
That was a scary feature.
Yeah. I still think the landing, even if they'd landed perfect, in my brain, would have still been a big G out. It's really scary to do.
See, it was so perfect. They built it so nice, but there was obviously a huge bank
Yeah, and I
after
think
it.
that's rock in there.
Yeah,
That's why they didn't
so
get
they
rid of
couldn't cut it out. So naturally then, although it is a perfect landing into a berm, naturally then if you land 6 feet too deep, which on one of these landings 6 feet overshoot isn't really that much, you're basically, if you go slightly too far to the right, you're either met with an upslope or you're met with a huge compression. I think
it's a double bounce.
yeah, everything about that really scared me actually.
I did feel really bad for Bienve. Obviously, I felt more bad for Sea Dog, but I felt bad for Bienve that then his partner in crime, the guy that you're relying on, like
the scientist,
that you're helping do the feature. Like, I think Bienve is an incredible rider, tricks and everything, but I don't think his forte is probably testing massive jumps. I think that would have probably been Sea Dog's forte.
Yeah.
And then they could have liaised with each other about another thing to backflip, and then Sea Dog would have used Bienve's experience to backflip over something, for example.
Certainly that of the features that stood out, that would have been the one that I would want to have someone else there testing the most. And Bienve actually nearly got it, completely spot on.
Yeah.
And it's not like Bienve wasn't thinking about overshooting and hitting the upslope. We're not saying anything new. So the case, you can probably, maybe I'm looking too much into it, but I would err on the side of caution in terms of overshooting on that jump.
Yeah.
And probably that's what he did. So.
And he did say that he hit a little soft patch before.
Did he?
On his run-in. So that compromised a little bit of his speed, which would have been enough to get him over that extra 2 foot or whatever.
Yeah, it's literally, it's nothing, and then you end up in a right pickle.
Yeah. And then you've got T-Mac's jump, T-Mac and Isted's jump, which we looked at in 2018 actually.
Yeah.
Which would have looked a lot more of a mess than that, and a too big a job, because obviously the landing had been completely cleared out, because the landing is Brett's landing.
Yeah.
Like, it goes around the hill, but it would have been all cleaned out and everything. So we looked at that. I remember we looked at that with the E-Boy in 2018, and we were like, that'd be so sick. And I'd much rather hit T-Mac's drop than hit Sea Dog's.
Yeah, definitely. That's a 75-foot canyon.
Yeah.
And like, something about it looked like the landing was steep. Basically, but what I think their one was really nice for was the running. There's nothing nice about it, but like the running, at least you could have there's like that roller, and you could measure your speed off that roller. It wasn't like you were just coming in. I feel like Bienve and Sea Dogs was quite blind.
Yeah, completely.
I mean, okay, so
T-Mac's one you can see the whole time. I'd have had someone standing on the landing, and if you have that, you can see it the whole way.
Rampage is full of like what could have been, but T-Mac actually fucking did it. He put together a line top to bottom that was filled with horrific features, like even his smallest feature on the hill was so big, that droppy suide.
Yeah, so sick.
That was a real Rampage line actually, T-Mac. I'm stoked about his result, and he's always been a bit of a favourite of mine, because I feel like he's got quite a calm demeanour, and it doesn't like hype up how gnarly his line is.
No.
And yeah, T-Mac's the boss. I was really pleased to see him on the podium. That was really cool.
And it's original when he came over this side of the hill, and it like traversed across the hill.
Cool.
And he him and his team put in a load of work, and
they did good digging as well.
Yeah,
like his diggers. All right, let's get to first point of this podcast. I don't believe we should have won Diggers Award. There's a lot of hot air. I don't believe we should have. If there was an effort award, then I think we put in a good effort.
Yeah.
I think we did. We put in maximum effort. 100% we put in. We couldn't have really tried any harder. There wasn't really any other time in the day that we could have dug.
No.
Do you agree?
No, 100% like this, no.
But with that said, if you looked at your canyon, it looked like a rifle range.
We looked like 50 calibre hit the back.
Yeah, and you can't really claim that we're good at digging if you look at the.
Now we are good at digging, but we put too much on the plate.
Yeah, there's not enough time.
And we don't like patting down.
Well, yeah, actually I'm going to hold you a bit responsible for it, actually. I would like to make stuff a bit nicer, but you don't really care about that, do you?
No, and we're not there to pat stuff down, and it's not a joyride. We want it to look rampagey, and as long as it's safe.
Yeah.
Safe in inverted commas, but we all have our own vision of perception of what's safe.
Yeah.
I obviously don't want to land on a landing and dig in and go over the handlebars, but as long as it's packed in enough water enough and we're not going to do that, then it's good.
A good example, the rock landing.
Yeah.
This is actually a really good example because the rock landing was a feature that we've done 2 years of work on.
Yeah.
Right? We spent one hour on the rock
and I was a
landing.
bit pissed off about that.
You actually didn't want to do that, did you?
I did.
You didn't want to do that.
I did only for the picture though, because on the picture from the side, you can't define where the landing is until you water it and like butter it up.
I mean, we barely buttered it up. So in that hour, you rake the whole landing because there's a couple of rain ruts which are literally where water has hit the tyre marks from last time, which was
5 years ago.
2019.
5 years ago.
So there's 2 rain ruts from the 2 times that the tyres went in it, from practice in the morning and from finals, which is mental, isn't it? And then we chucked a load of new dirt and watered it. So all of the new dirt, it's amazing how much it sticks, this dirt, in all of the holes, all of the low points, and then it basically looks pretty good. We didn't actually pat anything down on that landing. Which does make you think about.
But our jump onto the rock was work well.
Yeah, that was very nice. That was very
work
nice.
well.
That was a full day on that.
Yeah, sick. That was really. You've probably seen on my YouTube channel the video of day, start to finish on that feature. It's a really cool day.
Oh, man, I'm watching it yet. I can't fucking. I haven't got around to watching all of them yet. I can't wait actually. Just a bit over Rampage right now.
Understandable.
You?
Yeah, it was just so good and then turned so shit. But no, I am over Rampage now. We had a good innings. We did have really good
innings.
Yeah, really good innings. It's some really fond memories of the last 10 years actually from Rampage.
And mate, if you think about your Rampage career, which I've been lucky enough to be drawn along in, first year that you competed and completed a run, it was just like so underdog mentality. You're a World Cup racer. You didn't need to do Rampage. You're doing it because you literally wanted to do it because it's fun and it was an interesting thing, and didn't have any expectations of results.
Doing a whip in the Utah desert.
Yeah, and like that comparison to what we did this year is so different. It was so light-hearted, and we'd go to coffee shops, and like we'd work hard when we worked hard, but it was like there was no pressure, was there?
Yeah.
Or expectation.
I think what also makes it this year a bit of a thing is that, like you said, we've got all that experience now, and we kind of were like planning stuff out. We were like thinking of our run through the eyes of others, and trying to make it as diverse and as gnarly and as like rampagey as we possibly could. And I honestly think we ticked every box apart from the amplitude, which is fine. Like something has to. Well, I mean, we had a 50-foot canyon, but we didn't have a 70-foot canyon like last year.
Yeah.
But it's just like, then they've got to make their mind up, haven't they? Because last year, Zinc won on the most insane run with seemingly one big feature. They flipped. And I think that's why Van Seeberg was so pissed off, because he's scienced out what got the win last year and tried to copy it, and no offence to Cam Zink, but Van Stevo front flipped an insanely big jump. Yeah. Safe jump, but a massive big jump. And did tricks before and after.
Yeah, it's safe until you front flip or back flip it.
Yeah. And then did he get 5th or 6th? No, I don't know what he got.
I actually don't.
I can't remember, but like he obviously scienced it out, and apparently he set up an airbag of the same size at Brett Reeder's house.
Yeah. Wow.
Like a big 70-foot step down onto an airbag at Brett. So he scienced it out and then practice learn.
Dude, I cannot imagine what that feels like. Like to
me, how
me,
sick is that, knowing that you can do it?
Yeah.
That's just how that's how it should be. Like, good for him.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he should be. He arrived and did everything that he wanted to do, which is so rad.
Yeah.
And I get. It's
But then,
difficult,
like,
isn't it? Like
yeah.
he won best trick, and like that was the best trick, wasn't it?
Yeah.
The biggest front flip of all time.
Whoa.
Just to put in perspective, okay, from my own, you always run the risk of talking about yourself in podcasts, but it's how you talk in a normal conversation. So, if you backflip, so for me, if I backflip a 40-foot double on my hardtail,
Yeah.
the difference in pull is
Which
so much.
you have done lots.
Yeah, but the difference in pull is so much that it honestly feels like you're backflipping into oblivion. Like to slow something down is way harder than, for instance, a mini flip.
Yeah.
It's way more of an unnatural feeling. So you're just like, you know, you want to feel like you're proactive and doing something, not doing less and going faster. Like doing less and going faster feels like you're committing to something you don't want to be involved in. And like I can only imagine what
Looking up.
dude, slowing down a front flip that's already on a flat. What on earth?
And he's so strong as well. You see him land and go double bounce and just man up and just hit that bank. And that was sick.
Yeah, it was sick. That was quite a killer Rampage moment. Icedid's run out from his canyon was a real Rampage moment
That's
for
the
me.
most viral clip from Rampage.
That's the coolest shit, isn't it?
So I wish that clip was me and I had that in the archive.
Yeah, I know. It was really funny actually. I spoke to Matt from DMR, Matt Riley, MR of DMR, and he said that his favourite moment, it was in a clip. I haven't seen it, but apparently Icedid rolls out of that, comes to a stop, and then I shout down, "How the fuck do you learn that in Cornwall?" I haven't seen it yet. I want to find it. I didn't even realise I said it, but I thought that was quite funny. But yeah, that was a hell of a moment.
Yeah, you think Icedid would have he was riding super well. Icedid solid, stomping everything, getting away with it. You have to get away with a few little lucky moments like that. This Rampage, like you're not gonna.
Yeah.
And he had a sick crew with him.
Yeah,
Connor
crew
and
banger, yeah.
And
Joel.
And yeah, they cracked on. They'd have had I mean, if T-Mac had scored third, Icedid would have had to have scored almost exactly the same.
Yeah,
Icedid
absolutely. Yeah.
seemingly had bigger tricks at the bottom.
No, I think we would have seen a double flip or like something.
No, he was calling a fronty no-hander.
Oh, was he?
Yeah,
that last jump,
yeah.
nice. And he had that barrel roll off the.
Dude, that
so
was
cool.
Yeah. Dude, can you get your head around doing that?
No.
I cannot at all.
There's no way I wouldn't land sideways. It's like it doesn't make physics sense, does it?
Yeah, Tom was really impressed about that.
Yeah, he was.
You think of him as a bit of like a skate park, well, I did. Skate park airbag guy, but he blew us away at Darkfest and he was really solid at Rampage.
I was really impressed with attitude as well, because if you're a big swinging dick on campus, like you're coming literally podiuming at a joyride, like he is a phenomenal rider. He's used to being fiddling around on the top steps, and he was so measured and like humble, and he was actually mega impressive. I would say he's going to be quite something in years to come.
Yeah, definitely. Quite interesting. And then my biking idol, Godsey.
Oh man. I'll be okay.
Dude,
so
I love that guy.
Last year he would have won Rampage, right? Like last year, and he's like,
how sick is it that he's come back with triple clamps on?
So good.
Dude, how many bikes had, I think, there's only 2 bikes with single clamps on actually.
Which is, this gets us a bit more into the conversation, doesn't it? Godsey's was a Rampage run, absolutely. It was we were rooting for him to win. I think a lot of people were. The problem with talking about any of this stuff is that if you don't want to throw shade on anyone else, because every single human that made it down a run or crashed trying to make it down a run has put together something,
or
really,
even made it to Rampage. You don't just get invited to Rampage.
No.
You have to have a catalogue of insane moments in your life to even get on the radar.
So there's absolutely no shade to be thrown. So when we talk about anyone, especially not arguably the greatest bike rider of all time,
Seamonac UK.
That's why it's so crap to talk about, because you don't want to put anyone down, and like he put like, how hard is it to judge? In the judge's defence as well, how hard is it to judge? If 3 people have done a 360 off the first drop, one of them sticks a bar spin in the 360.
You have to judge theirs more, don't you?
You have to, right?
Yeah.
But how, so honestly...
But the problem is then they veer down one line and then they veer down another line. It's insanely hard to judge, actually.
It's like how do you actually come up with a solution? Like
the solution for me is taking the numbers out of it, taking these silly fucking, sorry, excuse my French, silly 91, 65s, whatever.
76.
76. You have to like just go, okay, Gonti's rider is better than Van Steenberg's, you put in there, and then it has to be all like changeable up until the last minute, and even the last minute they have to go back and review. The thing is, that shit for TV. You can't do that shit for TV.
I had that idea, I've talked about in the podcast before. I'll do it really quickly. The wooden templates that they use on the leaderboard at the end, you have them on a round table. The judges sit around the round table, you have a camera above the round table, you have all the judges mic'd up. You then have rider 1 comes down, he goes on the board, the name is there, wooden name on the board. Rider 2 comes down, you put the name above or below. It's not like positions, it's way easier. Like, make the job easier. Like, the job itself is way too complicated, nuanced and difficult to actually even do. Like, I really feel mega sorry for all of them. And then like, if you're mic'd up, you know how much difference it makes if you have to like
explain your actions. Yeah,
it's like the difference between writing a comment on a post and actually speaking to a human being in real life. Very different thing. Anyone who writes like nasty, mean comments, probably a lot of them in real life come across as relatively okay humans until they get back to their mum's basement and they crack open a packet of Cheetos and start writing mean stuff. So I think that would be a really good addition as well, because honestly, you're talking to a lot of people with a lot of experience, and it's easy to hate on them. But if you sat in a room with them and they gave you an answer, it'd be quite a lot harder, wouldn't it? That's not to say I think you should have got the score you got, by the way. But equally, I don't want to sit here and be a little bitch about like I don't want to be a sore loser or on your behalf. I think
what makes us all a bit bummed is like each judge came up to us and was saying individually how sick our line was, how much the sport needs this line.
Yeah.
Please stay on your bike, please get this done, the sport needs this is so sick. We even had apologies for last year's.
Worth mentioning that. It is worth mentioning that.
Yeah.
So an apology is admitting a mistake, right?
So
and I couldn't have had more of an you had a proper chat with a number of judges, didn't you?
Yeah, we had some apologies from last year's performance, whether it's whatever happened. And I honestly am not salty about last year's performance. It's all up to opinion, and even this year, like I am a little bit more butthurt and gutted about it all, and it makes me really never ever want to go back and entertain it again, just because of the work that we all put in and my sponsors put in, and even like you're leaving Georgie for 2 weeks, I'm leaving Hannah with the kids for 2 weeks. There's so much goes into it, and then to not even be top 8, which means top 8 result means that you get instantly invited back for next year. It's like a automatic invite.
Yeah.
And then we had a comment from a judge at the end saying, "Oh, it's okay, just what was it?
Film and edit, and you'll be in with a chance for an invitation next year." I think it's worth mentioning, like, alright, do you think you should have won Rampage 2024?
Definitely not.
There you go. I think that's another thing that's like...
Definitely not. I think I've got no idea where to put us. I don't, because it's too hard to judge, and when you're comparing this and the other, but it's like, that's what makes it so hard. It's like, I can't do a double backflip over a 50-foot double at the bottom with like Gotti can. But then I don't think he could ride down any of our chutes. There's not a right or wrong, there's not a better or worse guy. No. So it's like, that makes it really hard. I think that there's lots of stuff in our run that there's not one other athlete that could have ridden down.
Yeah.
But then equally, I couldn't have done a tail whip into, couldn't have done a tail whip.
Yeah.
So it's really, really hard to calculate. And that then going back to like not feeling sorry for the judges, but just it is hard. It is hard, but I will say this time, like, I've never said it before. I've always been very PC, and not PC. I've always been happy with what we've done. Like, we've done everything and more, and I couldn't have done any more. So whatever result it is, it is. I did think this time they did make a few big errors. Not necessarily our result, but further up the pack, and it was just. It's errors that I think if you sat them down, they couldn't explain themselves out of, which is,
Yeah.
you know, is a problem. They couldn't say, why is that there? Why is that there? Why is that there? I think there's it was a bummer for everyone. I think the whole atmosphere there was completely ruined.
Yeah, it was.
By it. It was really weird vibe, wasn't it? It was really, there was no energy there. I mean, the wind hole didn't help. There was no energy there. It was just like everyone was deflated.
The problem is it does have a knock-on effect. So it's like, you know, the next. So you've had a really, really nearly 10 years of doing Rampage. You've nearly had 10 runs of doing Rampage, whatever, 8, 9 goes at Rampage. You think that's a lot of amazing things have happened, a lot of really cool images, moments, GoPro clips,
Snapped ACLs, dislocated thumbs.
yeah, but like there's been a lot of really cool moments that you're gonna count yourself out of seeing from the future riders that would be really great at it.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of examples, but you know, like why is Brage not there? He's along the same sort of style as
Cade, Chaos.
Exactly.
All these sick dudes are insane downer riders that and good at tricks.
I want to see Vinny T at Rampage. I want to see exactly Cade, Chaos. I want to see all of those guys as well. I'm not saying I don't want to see the others, but I want to see those. I want to see it.
But I think seeing how the results play out these days is going to really put those guys off me even trying.
Yeah.
Why bother?
Yeah.
Why bother?
And I mean, if it's if the general direction is moving towards how safe you can make a landing so that you can do the most tricks, which is like, I don't even think that's crap, but I think that if you can do a top to bottom buff
half
run,
the riders were doing top to bottoms on day one of practice.
yeah, see that, I don't know if that's, I'd expect to see some of the field doing that, but not as many. I don't know. It just comes down to whatever your idea of Rampage is, doesn't it, really?
Bugger.
Well, I honestly think it is an entirely successful trip.
Yeah, it was.
Wicked.
It was.
Built everything, did everything and more that was on our plan before we went out there.
Did.
And you literally couldn't have ridden it any better. Like that, you rode the first shoot better than any time in
Yeah, I was stoked.
practice.
Just absolutely shitting myself coming in there. I'm going to miss that braking and just creep off the
Mate,
cliff.
you were scared as fuck this year. I don't know, I feel it was horrible on finals. I hate finals every single year, but this year was awful.
Well, yeah, and then like I wanted to do that. I wanted to flip the canyon so bad, and I was like umming and ahhing, like. And do you know how crazy it is? I was thinking, if I don't flip it, if I just suied it, it's so much safer for me. We're gonna 100% walk out of, not 100%. We're gonna walk out of there all safe. I'll probably maybe get top 5. I'll stay in the top 8, even if I just suied it, not flipped it. Mate, I would have got like 22nd out of 18 if I'd suied it.
Yeah, you would have. Yeah, you would have got minus points.
I got mine.
I'm glad you pulled back.
Yeah, and that for me is just such an insane risk versus reward, and I was really on the edge of whether it was even worth a top 3 reward from what the consequences were. But I was like, oh, sod it, I'll do it for the lads. I want to do it for myself as well, like to know that I can do it again.
Horrific morning, by the way.
Yeah.
Did 2 runs, overshot both, and if you overshoot that jump, it's major head bonk, compression, bottom out. Like that jump.
Big wall in front of you, really hard to judge speed.
Hate to say it, that's an absolutely disgusting jump. That is.
Yeah.
That canyon is horrible. The fact that an overshoot on the cards is really crap. Do you reckon it's got? See, we tried to make it so the flip was easier, but by digging, we dug down 2 feet.
Yeah.
So the lip was 2 feet. So I reckon you went a lot higher.
Yeah, no, I think it was probably easier. But no, I was speaking to Hannah last night. She doesn't give one shit about riding. But I said I was obviously evaluating everything in my head. Like I cannot remember flipping the canyon. I can remember every part else. I cannot remember that part.
That's mad, isn't it?
That is so. It's completely blank out of my head. Like as if it didn't happen. I promise you, it's so weird. So I can't even remember what I did, or like on the GoPro when I pulled back and I went ski whiff. So I must have pulled off hard. To go ski whiff, you pull off hard, don't you?
Yeah.
But it all came round, and then as soon as I landed, my legs went. It's like all the energy. Because obviously there's an end date to Rampage. There's a finals day. Like you need to keep high spirits, high energy until that end day. But I was like probably 1 minute too early on losing all my energy, like from being floppy. I landed the flip and I was like, oh no, my legs are so gone.
You're in sight of the toilet and you were turtle heading.
Yeah. I was like, oh no, the legs are gone. And then I had to ride down Geordie's chute, and then I was like, oh my god, now I've got backflip this thing and I want to try to do this trick. And I couldn't do the trick, which is the one thing that I missed in the run. And I was like, oh, sod it, I really don't care, I'm safe. The boys, like, we've done it for the boys, this is so rad.
Yeah.
And then I got through the finish line, I've watched the footage at the end and I'm so floppy. I like sat on the floor and I don't know what I was doing. I was like I looked drunk.
Yeah.
I was just completely sapped of energy and emotion and everything. And then got up, composed myself, and then then heard the score, and then it was just like I didn't believe that more energy could have been sapped out. You know what? We're not the only one with disappointing score. I think lots of other people there were a bit bummed about where they ended up with what they put into it. But so yeah, it's just what it is, isn't it?
Like with the clarity of hindsight, do you reckon there's a order that you could come up with? You know, just
All the athletes.
Yeah. If you could come up with a top 5 and be unbiased and don't.
I think Godzi. Van Steenberg second.
Yeah.
I really haven't watched Brandon. And Brandon for me is the hands down best mountain bike athlete in the entire world, bar none. But his run didn't blow me away.
It's because it's like opposite tail whip.
Yeah, see, that's why. His run didn't blow me away, and I love Brandon, and I've got the most respect for him ever. But
his build crew are wicked.
Yeah,
they do a fantastic job. Like that line is perfect.
Not rampagey enough for me.
Yeah, I would agree.
So I think maybe Brandon somewhere in 4th, maybe.
Yeah. T-Mac it'd be tough to take T-Mac off the podium, I think.
Yeah, T-Mac's run was sick, rampagey.
I think with bias I would put you 4th probably.
Yeah, I think 4th or 5th, yeah. But yeah, who knows? Yeah, I mean, it's too hard to tell, isn't it? Because like our shoots were like
horrific.
Yeah.
But then
getting onto the stone, getting onto the rock was like one of the scariest things I've ever done. But looks really crap and easy.
See, again, if those horrible shits got voted better, it'd be really, really. See, where I don't want to sound salty is because I want to see Semenuk pull off the wildest shoot. I want to see like all of that. That field is so deep.
On it. If judging became more biased towards Big Mountain, he ain't going to come with single counts.
No.
And he's got the skill set to go bigger than probably anyone out there. So he's just a scientist, isn't he? He knows what's going to win. He knows how judging works. He knows how it all works. He's a clever man.
Yeah, totally.
If judging became more down to like doing shoots and gnarly technical stuff like I think we did, Brandon's more capable than me of going, if he puts his head to it, of going down a gnarly shoot. The guy can sit in a rally car and then win.
Yeah.
So it's like that's what the problem we've got is that he's scienced out and knows, and he's got the skill set to do both. Like he can go the opposite tail
whatever,
or he can flip that step down. He can pretty front flip step down, you know.
All right, so that's a great way of looking at it. Then that's the best way of looking at it. The guy that it's like, what do you want to see Semenuk do? Then it stops it from being like a salty thing.
Yeah.
And I personally definitely want to see Semenuk. I want to see people using ropes for cliffs, not for landings. I want to see people building stuff that you go and stand at the
using
top of.
Sandbags
like,
in cliffs to get down rather than teaming up and putting 150 in a landing.
I swear it used to be like that.
It was.
I don't know.
It was.
Some of the shoots used to be so horrible. DJs is probably one of the last.
Actually, think what Godsey did. He front flipped off the first drop off.
Yeah.
Then he did a backflip. Then he did a flip off a big one, which about 5 other athletes did. But it's still, I know he hadn't done that flip till then.
He did it in the wind.
He did it in the wind in his final for the first time. Then he threed off another massive drop off, and then he double flip. He's so sick.
I love the Polish flip.
He gets round and he like looks at the landing and then goes, fuck it, goes for number 2. Now obviously he knew what he was going to do, but it looks so rad.
I love the Polish extension on that takeoff. It's so good.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. It's just a bummer, isn't it? Like, I think the only way, in my opinion, that it can become more rampagey is if you make more rules, which is obviously not the idea of freeride.
Yeah, it's so true.
Has to be something like you're only allowed to share one feature with another athlete.
That'd be cool. That I'd like to see more, because I don't want to see people patting down the same landing for days and days. No. I'm not stupid. I think all of the diggers could do. I think all of the teams could do way more creative things. It's not. I think anyone's incapable of it. They just end up all patting down massive landings together and like making way for. Who knows? Who knows? Maybe they should put it out for what people want to see, and kind of steer it that way. But anyway, to end on a positive note, I think I'd personally like to butt in and say I've had the best times at Rampage over the years.
And some of my fondest memories.
Absolutely, and super gracious to Todd and all of the crew. And I think like over the years, they probably thought, what are these in-betweener idiots doing here at first? And hopefully over the years we've won them over and we're actual mates. And
it's a good group of people who do a huge amount of work, like even like getting water to everywhere is an insane game changer. It makes the whole thing safer. Amazing. Like, we couldn't have built our line without water. Mate, and I don't know how we've done it in the past, and it's just makes everything better. And
you see the ground crew there and they're like nervous as if they're dropping in, and that just goes to show what an undertaking it is. You see Todd, he's rushed off his feet, he does such an amazing job. They actually do such amazing jobs, and it's been wicked to see, to be honest, and see it grow. It's grown so much over the years we've been there, hasn't it?
Yeah, it's really cool. It is. I'll be. We're going to go back next year, but we're just going to go and bike, aren't we? And not
go biking.
Yeah, we're going to go enjoy it for biking.
It's sad that it's about scores, but
people.
Can't put that much in, and then the moment the score got read out, I was just like, not going back, are we?
I'm not risking my life. Like I said, it was already like weighing it up.
Yeah.
I don't. No one wants to flip over 50-foot canyon. Like the you
horrible
fall
one.
in it. Like if you come short, I'm 100% breaking my arm and collarbone.
It's a horrible jump as well.
Huge knockout if you go too long.
Could we have made it nicer? Not with the time given.
No.
I mean, we're tapped start to finish, so.
But I do want to go. I want to go and hike Grand Island.
Oh please, should we go and have a really nice coffee trip out there? Really different experience.
Or us three go dig for a girl team next year.
Good idea.
Yeah.
I'm up for that.
We've got an insane catalogue of knowledge and experience. We can just go.
That's true.
And the poor girl would get like 15th or something out of 8.
Poor thing.
We've got the wrong end of the stick.
Again.
Oh shit, we thought Rampage was digging gnarly shoots, amazing natural terrain, going as big as you can, pushing yourself. Oh, it's not.
Yes. Pie laps, dude.
Oh shit. My bad.
Who knows, man. Well, hopefully they sort it out, because I don't think anyone wants to get robbed. It's actually like, I've heard it quite a lot lately, and it's actually like annoying because it undervalues all of the work that goes in and all of the mental riding that goes down, which is really cool. Just hopefully they get it sorted out, because I don't think we need more. I think it's what's so sick about Rampage is it is this standalone thing. It doesn't need to be like something different. I want like a wide variation of different rad riders doing wild stuff. So yeah.
Imagine how sick Semlax line was. He got let loose and he knew the shoot. Imagine the shoot he'd build if he knew the shoot's got the biggest points.
Oh, they'd just be riders would be in
it'd be
free fall.
Yeah.
It'd be overhung. Somehow he managed to make his tyres stick to the ground.
Yeah.
Little bar spinning? Maybe.
No, you're not allowed. That bastards don't get better points. Bastards don't get better points.
There you go.
But they do.
Those are the rules.
Yeah, so
thanks for joining us on the journey, all of the vlogs, all of the drive times, and all of our Instagram and stories and everything. It's really nice, actually. It's the only thing I've ever done where you get that much support behind you.
It's been huge. We've tried to read as many as we can. It's completely overwhelming for us all. It was such a rad week, regardless of what happened at the end. It's like really good time, didn't we?
Very good time.
Yeah, we had a good time.
And you killed it top to bottom.
Bundling about in the wood, not in the woods, bundling about in the dust.
Well, there's no woods around there, is there?
No, and again, huge support for the boys. For the Lad Science t-shirts, we really appreciate that. That's been a completely overwhelming response. We are on it. They're getting printed as we speak. Close it. I don't know when this podcast is going to come out, but what day is it? Friday. It's Friday. We're closing the website today, so this is going to be closed by the time this comes out. But overwhelming response. Really appreciate it. We are working as hard as we can. We've had to get a third party in to deal with the response from you guys, but we're gonna.
Over 200 have sold. And Deeks is going to come and help pack as well. Big shout out to Deeks. He did absolutely fantastic this year. He did loads of work as well.
Man of the match on many a days.
Man of the match, many a days, yeah.
Yeah, no headlocks actually this trip. No finish, too busy.
I got cut on the last night, but that was actually my own fault. I tried to headlock him and he literally touches me and I bleed. It's pathetic.
But didn't you like touch an axe in Bass Pro and they started bleeding?
Yeah, I bleed quite a lot really. Clearly. That time of the month.
No, wicked, yeah, big support. Thank you so much, and
peace and love.
Peace out.
Catch you on the next one, wherever that may be. Yeah, boy.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Ready?
Yeah, ready.
Ready? An echo?
Yes, dude.
Beep, beep, beep.
Oh, they're off.
We're on. This person's so sticky.